Hey guys, here I come to you on my weekly review of Haruchika, and in this week's episode, we get a new character by the name of Sei Marin. Now, I don't know if you guys have been realizing it, but I feel like that anytime there's a new character introduced, they have some type of problem, and that problem usually follows with them not playing their particular instrument. Okay, they're really good at playing the instrument, but for some reason of the or the other, they're not playing it, and it's up to Haru and Chika and some other characters to come along and help figure out why they're not playing it and try to make them play it and make them join the brass club because of how good they can play, with the exception of Chika, because she's the only member who's not really proficient in her instrument and playing her instrument. So, say who they describe as Chinese American can play the saxophone very well, and his parents, who are also musically talented and are known across the world, his father was the one that taught him how to play the saxophone. So they found the reason why he couldn't play the saxophone, and eventually he did join their club by the end of the episode. So originally he was in the drama club. So they tried to make a compromise, to say like, we want him in our club, but we're willing to do an improvised play. So if they can make say exit the stage, then he joins the brass club. And if the drama club can make one of the members from the brass club exit the stage, then he stays in their club. And by the end of the episode, like there was this time where few times in the episode they showed him having this briefcase that was locked, and the code that was on it in order to open up the briefcase was 2099. And when they translated, when Haru translated, it means we love you eternally. So his adoptive parents and his real parents, his real family, they do care for Say. Okay, they didn't give him up just because they wanted to give him up. They had to give him up for the sole reason of because when he was born with you know, his legs weren't working very well. They were actually very in a critical stage, and they gave him up for the sole reason, for the sole purpose that hopefully his adoptive family will find a way to cure his legs. And if you remember, at that time, I don't know if it's still happening, but China had this one child policy where if they have more than one child, then they would have to give up the child, either give up the child or pay taxes. And usually it's always the second child, but because of what happened to Say in his condition, they had to give him up. And it's not to say they didn't love him, they really do love him, but they had no other choice. And that letter was from his brother. So Say was not unloved. They did it what they did out of love for him. And it was very touching. And there was a funny moment where they had the when they were doing the improvised play, they were talking about the dog named Juan. So they couldn't mention the word dog inside the play or else they would have to exit off the stage. But it was a pretty good episode to watch. So we got another new member to join the brass club. I don't know if they're going to continually do it where like the new character comes in and they have a problem, they don't play their instrument. I hope it's not that reoccurring, as that if that keeps happening, then it might become boring to watch because it's just the same thing but just a new problem. So hopefully the mystery will be something that's different and changing throughout the show. So that's all I have for this week's episode of Haruchika. Tell me your thoughts and your opinions on this week's episode. Also, you can check me out on Twitter and Tumblr. My Facebook group page is in the description box below, so you can click the link if you'd like to join the group. And I'm Kimmy Chan of Anime Legends Podcast, and I will see you guys later. Bye.